Well, I'd like to have other community service providers on the panel talk about their organizations and the services they provide for ex-offenders. Lisa Murphy is with the Free Women Coalition. That's an organization that provides services to women ex-offenders. And Eddy Zheng is with the Community Youth Center, which provides services to Asian and Pacific Islander ex-offenders. I'd like to have Lisa and Eddy share their personal stories and describe how your experiences got you involved with the ex-offender community. Why don't we start with Lisa?
Okay, well, I paroled from prison in March of this year, and I paroled into a residential treatment program because while I was in prison, I was trying to be proactive in not coming back there because it's a pretty crappy place to be. So I tried to do some research on the things that I could do as an individual to keep myself out of prison. And one of those things was to go to a residential treatment program upon parole. And evidently it drops your recidivism rate down to like 25% or something. And I feel like life's kind of a numbers game. And if I can boost my numbers, well, then why not do it? I was lucky in so much as that while I was incarcerated, I was in the substance abuse program within the prison. That's definitely something that helped me when I got out, and it helped me keep myself focused in what I needed to do when I got out. So while I was at this residential treatment program, I was buddying one of my fellow rehab people to the HIV awareness program, which is the program that gives AIDS tests while people are in 850. And I just happened into Isela Gonzalez, who's also in the Free Women Coalition with me. And she told me a little bit about what they were doing. And it sounded really cool to me because I think that part of what I need to do as a parolee and just as a person, maybe to redeem myself a little bit, is to make sure that I give back to the community and make sure that I use my privilege and my blessings in this world to make it easier for other women coming out of prison. And I really think that the Free Women Coalition is unique in so much as that it's focused on women. Because I'm sure, I haven't been here, I just came from work, but I'm pretty sure that a lot of the focus has not been on women. Because women have a lot of very unique problems when they come out of prison, because not only do they have all the crap that guys have to deal with, but they also have kids and childcare, and you know, like that's a lot. I mean, you know, it doesn't sound like a lot, but I mean, if you've got 3 screaming kids at home and you can't figure out how to deal with your own life and your own problems, and then that's compounded with your children's life and your children's problems, that's a whole bunch to deal with. So from the first meeting I went to with the Free Women Coalition, I was on board because I feel like this is a really important thing to help women when they get out of jail and when they get out of prison, because not everybody has the same privilege that I do, and so I definitely needed to share that.
Okay, Eddy Zheng, why don't you tell us about your organization, the Community Youth Center?
Thank you. I work for the Community Youth Center in San Francisco, and specifically I work for the component of Community Response Network for Asian Pacific Islanders, and this is a new component with the Community Response Network. So it's something that I love to do because I'm able to serve the youth and the community to reduce violence, to reduce truancy, and to try to educate the people about the prison system and how reentry works if you work it. So the reason I like to provide my service and enjoy this type of work is because I was an ex-offender. As a matter of fact, I was incarcerated for 21 years, and I was just released February. So it was fortunate for me that I was able to come out. I'm one of those blessed ones who's able to make my own programs, who refuse to allow the system to hold me back, to allow myself to hold me back. So I have to make that transformation within, through education and through the support of my family, and most important, through the support from my friends out in the community. Because without the community and my family, I wouldn't be sitting here today as someone who is proud of himself for his transformations. So And during my incarceration in the prison system, I noticed the fact that there were a lot of Asian Pacific Islanders start coming to the prison over the last 2 decades. So, however, there's always a lack of resources for those people because some of them are mono-speaking people, so they couldn't get the resources they needed, whether it's dealing with mental health, whether it's just visiting. Because when you have 33 prisons in the state of California, people are being spread out. And these Asian and Pacific Islanders, they are being spread out throughout the prison system, and their family cannot reach out to them. And when you have the community, you have a lack of organizations who can provide resources for those people because of the cultural differences in the Asian Pacific Islander community, then they really don't get the help that they need to rehabilitate themselves, to transform themselves, that when they get out to the community, then they will not be a threat or continue to become victimizers. So therefore, I feel that there's always a need for reentry programs, resources to not just target to the main population, but the population of all who are incarcerated, especially the Asian Pacific Islanders. Because when I was trying to look at this, trying to do some research and look at statistics, there are no statistics on Asian American prisoners, the breakdowns, because we are all categorized as others inside the prison system. So you have the black, whites, Mexicans, and then the others. So you don't have a breakdown, even though, as Mr. McAleer mentioned earlier, we have over 172,000 people incarcerated in the state of California, but how many of those people are APIs? And how many can we break them down to Chinese, Vietnamese, Southeast Asians? We don't have a breakdown on that. So when we don't have a breakdown, we don't have statistics, then we cannot service these people. And these people are going to come out of the community and they will continue to terrorize the neighborhood because they have no other alternatives. Because the stigmatism as being an ex-prisoner continues to plague them. And when their family cannot, and their community cannot embrace them after they've been released or while they were being incarcerated, then they will not make the necessary changes. Because if nobody's talking about it in the Asian community, then they just continue to become a secret because nobody wants to talk about the bad things. Everybody wants to talk about the good things in their lives. So as I look out in the audience today, throughout this afternoon session, since I've been here, I don't see a big percentage of the Asian Pacific Islanders out here. I see a lot of people who are representative in their community, but the Asian community, their presence is not a big presence. So it's because that type of ideology, the thing that was, since the Asians, they got it made, they smart, there's all this stereotypes about the Asian being a modern minorities, that's what stops people from providing them with resources. And then that's when you come with the interracial violence in San Francisco. So that's why we will continue to trying to work with people. That's why the Community Response Network, as a collaboration, we go out there to do outreach, we do case management. So we talk to the people who are ex-offenders, we talk to youth who may become offenders, trying to steer them in the right path. So these are some of the things that I do working for the Community Response Network of Asian Pacific Islanders.
Thank you, Eddy Zheng and Lisa Murphy. And now let's pull in three of our other panelists who are here to talk about their reentry programs. Jason Bell with Project Rebound, which is based here at San Francisco State. Allison West with the California Reentry Program, and Karen Brown with the Northern California Service League. I'd like to have each of you briefly describe your programs and what services you provide ex-offenders, and maybe we could start with Allison West.
Sort of afraid of this. Is this working? Okay.